Man, welcome to another episode of the Chris Miller Show. We back, baby. Man, it's been crazy out here. I hope that y'all are okay out there. Hope y'all are doing good. I know that it's been a wild week, wild couple of weeks for me. I've lost some people. Hey, there he is. There he
How you doing,
is.
brother? Good to see you, Chris.
I'm doing great, man. Indeed.
Excellent,
We
brother.
got
Excellent.
we got Thad Bowles with us, the chief.
TV baby.
Indeed. I was just saying, man, I'm happy to be back. I'm not in the studio, but we still chopping it up, man. I like you
Yeah.
got that flag in the back says come take it. You notice the
Yeah, buddy. Hell yeah. The
one of a
Gonzalez. You got the straight Gonzalez OG. That's
yes,
what you
sir.
got.
And you see that I got
That's
Larry,
Texas.
Larry Elder. I got
Oh yeah.
got the chairman right here, Chairman Allen West, Lieutenant Colonel.
Yes, sir.
Indeed.
Yeah, good. Yeah, we wish the best to Colonel Allen West. We know he had an accident. We hope the best, man. I mean, it's dangerous out there. I was just riding my bike earlier. It's
How'd I know it was a motorcycle, man? I knew it was a motorcycle. You said riding my bike. I said, no, I know this cat ain't out here on no mountain bike.
Actually, Chris, I'm a unicyclist in my spare time.
All right. You be juggling too, bro? That's what's up.
We're multi-dimensional here, man. We're multi-layered. We're onions.
We're deep. We're deep. I got you.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Let me flip this around real quick. Everybody, get a last look at that. I'm gonna turn around.
Yeah.
Get comfortable on here. So we're on the radio too. We're gonna be on 9:30 a.m. The Answer for all y'all terrestrial radio folks. So man, what I want to jump into this because it's not like how we always get on it. We go in 3-4 hours, but we got to 1 hour. But I want to talk about some stuff, and I want to talk about first of all, I want to do this. I want to say God bless my grandmother. She passed away on the 11th, and God rest her eternal soul. She was my rock. And she's in a better place. I said that the saints are taking away he's removing all of the saints right now, man. So because I feel like something's coming.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
You know, the way what he's doing right now is he's taking all the saints away, and this is exactly what it talked about in the Bible, you know?
Yeah. We all know that things in the Bible are up for interpretation, and they might not materialize as they are in the Bible. We look for specific things, but if we look with the right kind of eyes, brother, someone who has that perception could see that we are losing a lot of great people. We've seen, and combined with COVID and what's going on with the economy and everything else, I mean, there are great events happening all around us, and for us to not recognize, the passing of so many great people in the way that they are, would be silly of us, man. So I said a few prayers for your grandmother myself, man. With that kind of situation and being what it was, at least you guys had the chance, to sit there and give the correct respect, love, and send off.
Definitely, she was surrounded by family, man. She went peaceful, and I prayed for that every day. So that makes
actually, Chris, that's more of a celebration. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In all honesty.
Oh, yeah. Indeed, I appreciate that, and I want to say, we want to say rest in peace to our brother Herman Cain.
Absolutely.
Amazing activist, amazing Black conservative, somebody that I looked up to, and I know my grandfather, who passed away last year, also he taught me about him and revered him, and that he would have been the best first Black president. He would have actually set this country on a right path. He would have actually brought us together under a real banner instead of what Barack Obama did to us.
Yeah.
And that to me was one of the greatest tragedies in American politics, is that we didn't get the right. For being a Black person in America, we couldn't have hoped for a better Black president than Herman Cain. And the fact that we didn't get him and we got Barack Obama is one of the greatest travesties in American history. And we're still dealing with that right now.
Yeah.
But moving on.
Yeah.
So
it had to be addressed, brother. So thank you for that, man.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about where the common ground is right now. I mean, we're seeing everybody just dripping with vehement, just this venom. Everybody's dripping with venom. You can't I can't get I can't get an inch in without somebody bouncing back with Trump. You can't even talk politics, not even politics. You can't even talk without somebody saying, like, if you we're talking about us Epstein stuff, right? So why is it that when we're talking about Epstein, somebody has to bring up Trump? Like he was just chilling there. Like this dude didn't kick him out of his clubs and ban him from his clubs and ban him from everywhere that he was. He had pictures with him because that the dude happened to be places where he was at. He wasn't on the island. He wasn't in his clubs. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't allowed there.
Well, let me say, man, that it's a very small world regardless. But
Especially if
when
you're rich.
you're in that kind of circle, it's even
Exactly.
smaller. You gotta think about what kind of percentage, what kind of percentile those people live in. You
Uh-huh.
know, this is not this is not the
Right.
average world. So only so many people are allowed access into those places. So they're bound to cross paths at some point in time. If you look at it rationally, I mean, it's easy to understand how Donald Trump and Epstein could cross paths.
Right.
Regardless, it's questionable to see Donald Trump with Epstein. So I get that. You
Right.
know what I mean? That begs the question: what the
Exactly.
was
What was he
he? You
doing there?
know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
yeah.
So
And if he was, we wouldn't give him a pass for it. We wouldn't
yeah,
get. And
yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, you'd give Trump a pass?" Like, no, the hell, I wouldn't.
No, no,
No,
no.
it just if something came to light that was concrete evidence, is telling me because I'm seeing like these girls are saying that that so and so had sex with Prince Andrew, so and so had sex with Alan Dershowitz. I'm not up for protecting none of them cats.
Mm-mm.
You come
Yeah,
to me with some rock solid evidence, I guarantee you, I'll throw his ass under the jail.
yeah. I said this earlier, brother. I would love to be wrong. I
Right,
welcome being wrong. You know, please correct me if I'm wrong. Thank God. Thank
right.
God, because I have such a bleak outlook
Because
on exactly what's
with
transpiring,
humanity,
brother.
right?
Yeah, yeah, it's a thing, bro. So, you know, like I said, man, they're bound to cross paths at some point in time. If anybody, and this is the difference between us and the other side, bro, we would completely concede and admit being wrong and immediately switch sides if we
Right,
were wrong. These people refuse to acknowledge the fact that they are imperfect and that they can be wrong. They think, oh, we believe in science, so we can never be wrong. Well, I'm
right. Like
sorry. You know
science has
what?
never been
Science
fallible.
has classically been politicized. I'm sorry,
Exactly.
that's just history.
And it's classically been wrong.
Yeah.
Science is one of those things that it's like it's worse than guilty to proven innocent. Like literally, science is always wrong before it's ever right.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
fact that mistakes are made is just part of science.
Mhm.
But they can't bring that to the human culture and say that, oh, the part of being human is being wrong, because nobody can be wrong these days. Everybody's got to be right. Everybody has to know exactly what's going on. Everybody has to be a freaking expert now.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me.
And that's just what comes with unlimited access to information.
Mm,
You know, we're all info junkies. All of us,
exactly.
we're all info junkies. You know, there's not a point in my day where I'm not like, well, what can I learn from my phone today? You know, I mean,
Right.
that it's hard to
Pick
put it
it up
down.
as
It's a
soon as first
thing.
thing you do, yeah.
Exactly. First thing. First
So,
thing.
so let me ask you this, because what we're seeing right now is a compromise in this failing marriage of liberalism and conservatism. So, like, can we get past our view? Can we somehow get past seeing? I mean, Trump is our leader, but can we somehow get past everybody's views on Trump to see the person that's standing right in front of us? Like, can we bring it back down to the micro? Because we're so focused on the macro that we're missing out on what's really important, the things that are stepping right in front of us. The people like the county judge in San Antonio and the mayor of San Antonio that are really digging their heels in and putting a boot on our neck.
So before I get into these local, governors, mayors, legislators, let's address the fact that the double standard,
Yeah.
the double standard that's going on right now. You know what? Real quick, man, I just lost my train of thought. help me out real quick.
So what do you mean?
What were you just on?
Oh, we're talking about the view. Can we get past the views on Trump?
Yeah.
To,
Okay.
The person, look at the person standing in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah. So the fact is that what's the first thing that you hear about Trump? You know, it's a personal attack. Yeah. It's obviously a personal attack. How many times do you hear somebody actually say, you know what's wrong with this policy that he just enacted or invoked, you'll never hear it.
Never
It's not
ever.
a
And
thing.
I figured out why too.
Mhm.
So I was watching Dave Chappelle the other day. I was watching. I can't remember exactly which one it was. I know it wasn't Killing Me Softly. I think it wasn't Killing Me Softly, but he was talking about how he whenever he looks at a politician, and he was in his sense speaking for black people in general. He said we don't look at politicians as for policy. He has no idea what somebody's platform is. He's talking about George W. Bush, right? He said he has no idea what his policy is, his platform. He looks at his character, right? So
Mhm.
he has no clue what he's for or against. He
Yeah.
literally said that, and he's like, "Well, he was talking about Bill Clinton. He's like, man, when I see Bill Clinton, he picked up that little black baby, and he was like, come here, little black baby, mwah. And then he's like, when I saw George Bush pick up a black baby, he was like, eh." And he was like, something ain't right there. That's what he was thinking. But I see that a lot. There's a lot of emotion attached. There's a lot of like, it's all like from the feeling. There's no mindset to it, and everybody's
logical, irrational.
everybody's voting with their heart and their feelings, and oh, I want to feel this way. Well, I got to be honest with you, man. I want to feel safe. The only way to feel safe is to be safe.
Mhm.
You know, like we feel fear all day, every day, and we're not really in danger. We're gonna be in danger, but
Well, break it down, Chris. I mean, just what is a feeling? All right, it's all based on an electrical. It's an electrical response and a chemical reaction.
Yep.
Yeah, chemical injection. You know what I mean? Yep. It's all based on dopamine, serotonin, and neural pathways and electrical firing. Yep. Hey, dude, yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. So, you know, all of the logic, when you have that kind of dump of chemicals, that's where you get. That's why they say, you know, someone with elevated estrogen is overly emotional, or somebody with too much testosterone is overly aggressive, because these things affect behaviors. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a lot of people out there, you know, all jacked up on SSRIs, amphetamine salt, you know, and who knows what else, because everybody's got to find a pill to cure, you know, whatever ails them.
Adderall, Xanax.
That's what I'm saying, dude. And, you know, and then that, you know, combined with all of the technological stuff, you know, that everybody is exposed to. We've already talked about the phones.
Yeah.
You know,
3G,
who knows?
4G, 5G.
That's what I'm saying. We don't even have extended studies on these things and their effects. I can tell you about a study where there are mice and they had a chip implanted in their brain, and they were exposed to 5G radiation, and they started attacking each other.
Wow.
You know, I mean, this is a thing. You can look this up. I mean, it's there. You know, so there's so many different variables, man. They're not accounted for. You know, you have people that have no idea, like you said, about the actual policies or the platform that's being voted upon. It's just, do I like this guy's personality, and does he think like me?
Right. And that's where that tribalism comes in. And this is all this. The Marxist plan was literally to take us and divide us into tribes, divide us into as many bisections as they can, until we get to a point to where we don't see each other as human anymore. We see each other as the enemy. And it's all this pathological thinking of tribalism and of cult thinking. So, well, the first thing you do in a cult to brainwash people is to make everybody else them, and then make them evil. So and it's the same thing that they do in the military, and a lot of times, sometimes in police,
and in rules for radicals. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
We'll edit that one out.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So the thing is, what we're looking at is a large cult, and you could say on either side there's been a cult type. There's been a cult type of thought wave that's been established.
Absolutely.
But one side's a death cult, and one side to me is a life cult. Mm-hmm. You know, and we know which side is which. Yeah, no,
there's a very definite yin yang type situation there, man.
Right, it's light in the dark, and I gotta say that it sucks that it's gotten to that point, but that's kind of a Western mentality type of deal, because the way that we think about form and function over here is a lot different than they do in on the other side of the planet. But I gotta ask you this, man. Where do we draw the line? I mean, because when we're sitting here we're getting pushed in so many different directions, or from so many different directions, to the same area of, I mean, they're trampling on our rights. They're trampling on the Constitution. They are trying to take away our dignity bit by bit, and they're sitting here making us feel like we're going crazy because we're not. I mean, everything around us is turning upside down, and we're sitting here in the middle of all this, trying to keep our cool. Like literally trying to keep our cool, because there's been days where I'm sure I know you felt this way, but there's been days where you just want to, like, you talk the person in front of you, like you're holding your tongue, but everything they're saying just makes you want to, like,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's because of the the semantic nature of the conversations that transpire between ourselves and persons with opposing views. To answer your question, can we get past our views on Trump to see the person standing in front of us? It's questionable as to whether that is even possible anymore because of the inability or unwillingness to see beyond his personal views and things that he said that have possibly offended those people. Now, where do we draw the line? I think the line has already been drawn. That's why you're starting to see amplified violence, aggression, rumored death lists against persons like ourselves. We actually recently had a friendly, go into Portland and get stabbed. Yeah. So, and I was supposed to be there with him, with Genlo.
Really?
Yeah, we were supposed to go over there and meet up and go get some footage. And this was put out by a Twitter handle and I guess a Facebook handle. And these guys were waiting for this dude. They were scouting this dude out and they stabbed him. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing IEDs being used in the streets of Portland where they're saying it's mostly peaceful. I'm sorry, when you're throwing improvised explosive devices at federal buildings, at federal officers, you're breaking the law and you're treading on attempted murder.
Right.
So, this is amplified. There's no ifs, ands, or doubts. There's been straight attacks, and you've had mayors and governors basically draw that line and step across it and go on the side of Antifa. Ted Wheeler, the governor of Oregon, her name doesn't come to my head immediately, and then you have Jenny Durkin over there in Washington. And we already know the history of Inslee and Inslee's wife. Right. These people are deep rooted in the Antifa side, and they're drawing that line and they're walking across that line, and they're holding hands with the people who are committing domestic terrorists in these cities. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, that you can't call it anything else. It's clear. Yeah.
So what's our? I mean, I gotta ask. I won't even put that out there because they don't even know what our next move is. But so, I mean, what is it that's getting everybody triggered on the east side? I mean, I get that everybody thinks that Trump's a racist on the other side, and I think it's funny that on this side there's people of all different colors. Yeah, there's people on. I mean, it's weird. There's people of every color on both sides.
Hold on, Chris. I just noticed your shirt.
Oh, you got,
and it's hilarious.
You like that one?
Yes. That's amazing. I'm going to send you a meme right after this. It's inappropriate to discuss. But you're asking, why do we get so triggered on either side? This is I played with the person today on Twitter, and this is just a quick example. He commented on the doctor, the African doctor that came out and talked for hydroxychloroquine. Everybody's been immediately, ready to jump on the whole hashtag demon sperm. And
like he was the only one there talking.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal, man. So the guy said this, he posted this. He was very condescending and patronizing. So this is what I did. I took a page out of their book and I immediately said, so you're saying that you're smarter than an African woman, you racist. Why don't you even consider looking at what she's done medically rather than immediately attack her religion?
Right.
You intolerant against freedom of religion, yada, yada, yada. So what I did is flip the script and call this guy a racist, and his head literally exploded. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then this is what he said. Check this. He was like, that's not even fair. It wasn't even relevant to the conversation. And I said,
neither was the demon
sperm. That's what I told him. I was like, dude, there you get it now, right? No. He can't be wrong.
Oh, they can't be wrong. They can't admit that they're wrong, because if they do, then their whole their whole society collapses. Everything that that straw man thing, everything that they have is hanging on the balance of them never admitting that they are wrong, dude.
Absolutely, brother.
Because they know that the one time that they because and that's what the whole gaslighting thing is about.
Yeah.
They can literally lie if they have gotten so good at lying in our faces and
Yeah.
with a straight face over and over again, trying to, and that's they have to keep this up because if they keep it up, then that can make everybody else think that they're crazy. That's their whole goal is to make us question our reality. The crazier they sound to us, the same the crazier it makes us feel. Like, am I racist? Like, what's happening? Is this real?
Well, I'll tell you what, the difference between us and them is that at no point in the day does race even enter the equation. Bottom line, we don't think about race. Race doesn't come in there. The first thing that I think about when I meet a dude, eye contact, body language, did you shake my hand like a man?
Right.
And are we hitting it off? I don't care what color you are. That's us. That's why they're calling us racist, because they make everything about skin color.
Exactly.
It's not about that.
The funny thing is, that's their whole thing. Everything about them is literally what's the word? It's opposite world.
Yeah, no, it's like bizarro world. It's a Twilight Zone. It's all of that, brother.
Right. So let's see. I gotta ask you this: where do we see this country after November 3rd? Because let me tell you what I think first of all, and then I'll let you go in. Mm-hmm. I think that there's going to be riots no matter what happens, and I think that there's going to be different types of riots. I think there's going to be a different type of and I don't actually. I'll take that back. I don't think there'll be riots either way. I think if he wins, there'll be riots, but if he loses, there'll be a different type of protest like America's never seen before.
Well, check this out, man. I said this as soon as Donald Trump was elected. There will never be an elected president the way that we knew it, loved it, and grew up with ever again in the United States of America. Right. You can quote me on that.
Right.
I'm telling you right now, brother, the scenario that the hypothetical that you're proposing is interesting, because what we have is already, we have preemptive measures taken. Okay. We've already had Nancy Pelosi come out and say, if he doesn't accept, and how ironic is that? Because who didn't come out and make a concession speech like everybody has done traditionally? Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's always something very largely ironic with these people, but they're already saying, what if he doesn't get out of the office? We already have measures in play to get him removed physically.
They're going to fumigate him.
Yeah. Fumigate him out of the White House. All right. So you have that. Exactly, dude. And this is how brazen these people are. I mean, they're talking like this, so they obviously think they have a solid, either some kind of hard coup, physical coup, like a military coup, like they've gone down the row and they've talked to several generals and knocked on the door and said, hey, would you roll with Biden? Wow. But this is the way that they're talking. You have this series of preemptive measures. And then you have, the mentioning of the mail-in voting, which we know is just it's boo-boo, man. It's boo-boo. Yeah, it's a sham. You know what I mean? And then even beyond that, you have places like Broward County with Brenda Snipes. You know what I mean? Who has historically been the person that can't get it done over there in Broward County and needs extra times, loses votes,
always need a recount in Florida.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the deal, I mean, right. But the thing is like I said, bro, there's not going to be another presidency the way that we knew it, because they're changing the rules to the game. They're pulling the cord out of the Nintendo. They're flipping the chessboard. This is what they do. They can't lose. They refuse to lose.
They lose, they hit reset.
That's it.
And that's what this is. An American reset is what's happening.
Yep.
I gotta write a book called American Reset.
Here, check this out. Now that you're saying the reset, all right, just off topic, we've had several people today mention Nazara Gazara. Look into it, everybody. I mean, it's like I said, it's a reset. They're pushing the button. They can't win the game, so they're changing the rules. Be ready.
Nazara Gazara. How do you spell that? Listen.
Nesara. It's about a financial reset and move back to a bimetallic based currency. So it's a thing. People are doing this. Look into it. That's all I'm going to say.
I did. I have
Wise Wolf Gold and Silver.
indeed. Let me put
Put
that
that
up.
banner on the bottom.
Sorry.
There you go.
Now let
Yeah.
me see if I got a. I'm gonna put a ticker
Shout
up.
out Tony A. Love you, brother.
Create a banner. I love this. I love this StreamYard. Yes, and definitely shout out to Tony Arterburn and and Arterburn Radio Transmission and um 1776 Agenda
Agenda
1776
1776. Yeah.
for
Jason Megatitan.
indeed Jason Love for holding us down, hold me down last week when I was mourning my grandmother. And man, shout out because they really him and French Files held it down and really put things into perspective and did what he does. I'm gonna go ahead and Wise Wolf Gold and Silver.com. Wise Wolf Gold and Silver.com.
Yeah. So, I see the next question that you have here, man, is what can we do to amplify the voices from the center that have been silenced? And I wanted to ask you, I mean, what people specifically did you consider center?
So I'm thinking about the Blue Dog Democrats, the ones that don't see their party as their party anymore. The people that are in the right that they're not never Trumpers, but they're like they're kind of I would say they're soft Trumpers. They're not really they don't really like the things that all the way that Trump conducts himself, but they are on board with his policy. The silent Trumpers, the soft Trumpers, people like that, people that we need to know, or I don't even know if we need to know, but we need them to be either more active or to speak up, because what's happening right now is that there's too many loudmouths out there spewing nonsense and really getting in the way of truth. So what we're looking at right now is an overabundance of lies and an overabundance of venomous rhetoric towards our president that's really doing damage to. I feel like it's doing damage to his candidacy. I would hope that he still got it all under control, but at this moment, it feels like there's something waiting in the wings, and it kind of makes me nervous a little bit. Hey, but what I want to do is I want to take a little 1 minute break because we're gonna take a little break because we got the radio deal going on. So when we come back after a minute, we're going to jump back into the second segment. I want to hear what Chief Bowles has to say about this. So y'all hang out.
I'm gonna go grab something real quick, man.
And we're back. Man, I'm just looking at this deal and nobody can even see. I don't know what's going on with this with this post, but it's saying that people are saying that they can't see it. I'm gonna try to I wonder if I can let's see if I can do something real quick. Uh move this destination from the broadcast. Let me try something. I wonder if I can do this in the middle of the deal. I'm gonna try it. Screw it. I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna put this on.
Oh, you're trying to change who you're posting to?
Yeah, because it's saying that
You
nobody
can.
can see it.
You can.
All right, I just did. So hopefully I'm about to send it out again to everybody and hopefully they'll be able to see that bad boy. That ought to be interesting. All right. Word. So we're back and do me a favor, man. You remember the question we're talking about?
I'm sorry, man. Refresh my memory.
So they were like, where do we see this country after November 3rd? And
Yeah. Yeah.
just
So,
give
so with like I said, man, after the election, especially if we have uh, a Trump victory, we're gonna have a pretty much a standoff with the Democratic members of both sides of the House, and the other side and the Republican side, and it's not going to be pretty, man. It's going to be quite ugly because of the vitriol and the rhetoric we've seen from Nancy Pelosi, Jerry Nadler, Adam Schiff. Man, I don't know how that guy is not in jail right now. That guy stood up there, said straight lies that are just absolutely verifiable. And the guy is still walking around with those crazy eyes, like nothing's wrong. It's not right. So eventually, we're going to see some of these things transpire. I'm not going to speculate on who or when. I'm not going to tell you Q told me this or Q told me that. I would love for everything that Q says to be, what happens. But just from what I've seen, what I think is we're going to see a standoff if Donald Trump wins. And it's going to be the same thing that we've seen in every city in regards to the George Floyd protests / riots, and everything that's gone on afterwards. Okay, the difference between a Trump victory and a Biden victory is going to be vastly different, because you're talking about an entirely different kind of person. Okay, we're talking about ex-veterans. We're talking about engineers. The actual physical labor types. And basically people who are physically capable, ready, trained, prepared, with vast amounts of storable food, vast amounts of storable precious metals, vast amounts of stored ammunition,
exactly.
and so on and so forth. We see groups like this NFA, whatever they are, these guys that stood in ranks for the first time and shot each other,
Right.
those guys, NFA, not effing around militia or whatever,
NFAC.
Yeah, no disrespect to
Right.
your right to gather and to do this, but
Right.
it's in the way that you're doing it, in the aggressive posture that you're taking, that makes you the joke that you are. In NFA, whatever, it's a joke. But you're going to see the difference between the people that are going to organize in this fashion, because it's not going to be going out and breaking glass and attacking people that have nothing to do with it for no reason, and things like this. You're going to see a calculated, concise reaction to the problem, and if there is verified proof that we have either voter fraud, or anything, any kind of skullduggery that could possibly be dug up or shown, or shown as proof, you're going to see just this, something vastly different from just going in the street and acting like a child.
Right. And breaking other people's stuff.
Yeah, you're going to see something that this country hasn't seen before, and I hope it never does.
Right.
So it's interesting. We're on the precipice of something crazy. Definitely a crux in this damn soap opera that we're living in, man.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what do you think? I have my ideas, but what do you think liberals really want? Like, because and I'll say this not just in the sense of progressives, not in the sense of like ultra leftists. I mean, what do liberals want? Because
Okay.
there's a happy medium here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I go out to every event, hoping, praying that I can find one or two people that will have a, a courteous discussion with me, and we can both leave like, hey, you know what? This is awesome. We've actually both learned something from each other. That
Right.
happened for me in Provo. That actually happened to me at the Salt Lake riots. Regardless of whether they broke my windows and punched my truck or not, it's like whatever. I made contact with some decent people, so that makes my day. I don't care, But I think that we need to establish the difference between a leftist and a liberal. A true classic liberal respects your right to think freely and your right to live as you may. Okay.
Right.
Leftists are and it's funny because they're supposed to be so much different.
Right.
But leftists take a fascistic approach to your personal freedoms. You will think like them, or you will not think. That's basically what they want. That's what they demand. And when they don't get it, they go after your livelihood. They go after your property. They go after your kids' schools. And I think that's the difference, man. So, in a nutshell, what leftists want is anarchy. That's what they want. They
Exactly.
want
They
they
want
want
it to burn. They want to watch it burn.
they want to watch it burn, and they want to create it in their own image. It's just another
Right.
case of humanity worshiping itself.
Mm-hmm.
This secular humanism manifest in skinny gamer nerds in tight
and,
pants.
and soy boys with top knots, right?
That's what I'm saying, bro. 90 pounders.
Yeah. And as I look at the world through this lens, if we truly look at what everybody's asking for, we're not seeing the voice of the people erupting and coming out of the shadows. What we're seeing is these cockroaches coming out, and we have to be real with each other. It's from the left and the right. We're seeing the worst come out, but that's who the voice is being given into. So we see the media, and the media will only portray what they want you to see. I get tired of people saying, "Oh, I saw this, I saw that." You saw what they wanted you to see.
Yeah.
If you weren't
Yeah.
on the boots on the ground, um, in person, right there on the set, you didn't see anything.
Yeah, well, so
Because
to be clear, Chris, not to interrupt you, brother. I'm
you're
sorry, but
good.
to be clear, it's a revolving door. It
Right.
goes both ways. So
Right.
we're only as good as our information. That's why I make it a point to try and stay open minded. If somebody can show me something, hey man, that's awesome. Please do show me something. Show me that I've been wrong about this one thing. Because like
Right.
I said, it's it has to be acknowledged by us that we could also be wrong because of that fact, because we're bound by limited and controlled information.
Indeed. So what about conservatives? What do we this does I don't feel like it needs to be said for my listeners, but I'll say just in case there's somebody new tuning in. And by the way, we got Chief Thad Bowles here. He's here. He's here. Just in case y'all just tuning in. Um, I don't even think my listeners have been fully introduced to you. You haven't been on this actual show.
Mhm.
Before we go any further, please tell us who you are. 30
Yeah,
minutes, 40 minutes in.
Yeah, real quickly, I'm just another dude. I'm nobody. I just like to go out there and let people know that there's a better way. I think we're all also bound by perception. Our experiences determine who we are and how we think. And I've just I've experienced a lot.
Right.
And I feel like I have an understanding. And for whatever reason, the people that I come across seem to feel the same. And you know what? Who am I to deny that? You know what I mean? All I want to do is help people, So I do a show with Jason Lowe. He's a member of Tony Arterburn's from Wise Wolf Gold and Silver.
From
His
the click.
podcast, yeah, and yours. It's called the Agenda 1776. And I do a cast with Jason Lowe, MAGA Titan, called Titans of Liberty. And we've been doing it for about a year. One of our first things that we did together with Brandon from That's the Point. Great guy, serious warrior, true warrior. guy fights in armor in Russia. I mean, it
Nice.
doesn't get any more man than that. Yeah. So shout out Brandon from That's the Point. We've done stuff with Leo Zagami. You know, we've done stuff with Owen Schroyer from InfoWars. You know, I've had the honor of talking to a lot of great people. You know, all of us see each other as equals. There's nobody better than the other guy in this. Everybody shakes hands, and there's energy that's passed in between us. It's definitely a real, recognized real Wu-Tang type situation, you know, and
Yeah.
it's all love, bro. And you can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And it's amazing to be a part of this moment and this movement at this point in time. You know, it's amazing.
I feel like there's no better time to been in politics than right now, man. Because this is where the real fight is taking place, because everybody's starting to wake up to the things that have been bubbling under the surface, and the actual battle that's going on between forces of good and evil, high and low. All these things that are actually happening, they're coming to light. The veil is being pulled back. The curtains being opened up. You're seeing who's behind the curtain. You're seeing the wizard. All that.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is it that we as conservatives want for those people in the back that may not hear us?
Yeah, just to backtrack 1 second, brother. I don't know if it's okay if I mentioned this, since we've been demonized so badly, but I am also a proud Western chauvinist and a member of the Salt Lake City chapter of the Proud Boys. Uhuru. I had to throw that in there, brother. But as conservatives, you know, and it's hard to label myself. I've never really been a guy that's been bound by labels. Not to be in any kind of uptone. I don't really like to be part of the problem, you know. But I'm saying, like, I've always found labels stupid. Like, again, I don't think about skin color. I don't think about labels. You know what? I like right versus wrong. I like, you know, I come from a position of deontology. I do and say what's true. Even when it's not to my benefit, you know, as a rule, you know. But conservatives in this regard, the way that we're talking about conservatives, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and mention patriots, people that I've met out there. I mean, even including libertarians. Yes.
Have you noticed this, that the word patriot is now synonymous with the word conservative? You never ever, not even from the left. The left has put the moniker on anybody that calls himself a patriot is now a conservative. I think that's awesome. I think that is amazing, and it fits. But they've tried to villainize the word patriot.
Well,
make it a bad thing. That's crazy to me.
They hijack the meaning to words,
right? And we should do the same to them.
Yeah,
you know, and we should use that like you did earlier. Like,
exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
We use that same nomenclature to make it backfire on them. My buddy Weston Martinez here in town, he told me about how we let them use words against us, like this cisgender, hetero, this and all that.
So I don't know if you've seen my Facebook profile, but I haven't been on Facebook in a long time, and actually my name is Johnny Cisgender on Facebook. Give me a follow, people. That's actually a comedy character that I used to do stand-up a couple of times. I totally dismantled that audience, man. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
They thought I was a liberal the whole time, and then underneath, InfoWars shirt, bro.
Nice.
Oh, you got trolled, Austin.
I bet their whole
it was
brain matter everywhere.
Yeah, no, it was like what was that? Tracers or whatever.
Right? Yeah.
The dudes that explodes. Yeah, yeah, no craziness, man. But you know, the conservative movement is all about maintaining their own personal freedoms, because the typical conservative. Now, don't get me wrong. There's extreme ends. There's some conservatives that are the exact same thing. Believe the way I do, or else you won't believe. You know what I mean? And it is that extreme. But the typical conservative that I come across, bro, just wants to maintain his personal freedoms and his children's personal freedoms, personal property, etc. Because they want to get rid of all of that. You know, they don't want you to be, you know, independent. They don't want you to be self-sustainable. They don't want you to own property. You know, these are everything that go against Agenda 21 and the Communist Party. You know what I mean? So that's why they hate it so much, you know, but these people just want you to be able to live, and they want to be able to live, you know, without anybody intervening. And that's why it's all love whenever they get there, because they're not trying to control anybody else's life. That's the thing. It's all about control. You will think the way that I want you to think.
Yeah.
You will do as I do.
And I think that once we get past that, and once we once we actually sit across from each other and start to actually ask each other the people that are in the middle, if we ask each other what we really want, it comes down to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And when we look at things through that same lens, we all have, and that's what my show's all about, right? And my show is all about bridging that gap between liberals and conservatives, the traditional liberals and conservatives, and noticing that we all have the same skin in the game. We all have family. We all have, we don't all have children, but we all have family. We all have somebody that we love. We all have a dream, this American dream. We want to make something, leave our mark. Of course, there's psychopaths out there, there's sociopaths, but the majority of us normal people, which there are more of us, it seems like, than there are of anything else, are actually out here trying to work, trying to live, paying taxes, trying to eat, in more ways than one. Most people got more than one hustle. Most people have it in their minds that they're going to do whatever they have to do for their family. And the fact that we're being put on opposite ends of the spectrum for things that we don't even understand is making it very difficult for us to function as a people. And that's why we have this great eternal struggle that's building up within us, bringing us back to things that don't even matter. Like we're being brought back to racism, which is something that if we would let it die, it would die. But there's people among us that profiteer off of it, so we'll not let it die. Like when Barack Obama got on stage and was talking about, the George Bird might be gone, but we still got officers out here standing with their foot on their necks. We had one officer out there with his knee on somebody's neck, and now he's trying to make it seem like every police officer got their knee on everybody's neck. I've never had a dang knee on my neck at all.
Yeah, Obama was the absolute greatest at dividing the country.
Yeah, race
dividing the country.
This dude got 5 cops killed one night.
Yeah, Texas.
Do we forget that?
Yeah,
he got 5 cops murdered in one night because of his words.
Yeah.
And they don't talk about that. This BLM guy that went out there and he murdered 5 police officers in cold blood because of what he said.
And these were confirmed BLM supporters.
Yeah.
To my knowledge.
Correct
me if I'm wrong.
All his posts were all about that. And he had it's like a BLM manifesto. And I'm gonna say it like this. Even that part about this struggle is off, because we know now the BLM is not for black people in the first place. Black Lives Matter is funded by a white guy. It was started by I don't even want to go into who all it started by, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's the money that you donate to BLM goes straight to Act Blue. Act Blue funds white liberal candidates for president. There's plenty of black Democratic candidates, and they didn't get a dime. Not 1 cent has gone to Flint, Michigan. Not 1 cent has gone to Chicago. Not 1 cent has gone to Detroit, Baltimore, LA, New York, Queens, any of that. Yeah. Not 1 red cent has gone to any black cause. Instead, they've gone to furthering the white liberal agenda. And I've done plenty of posts on how divisive white liberals are and how bad they are for black people.
Yeah, well, Malcolm X said that, he said that. There was one thing that you said earlier that I want to touch on, man, and that's the perpetuation of the concept of racism. Actual racism hasn't been a thing in this country. All you have to do is look at the episodes of the Chappelle Show, which you mentioned earlier. Right. Racism was funny. It was funny.
All people were on it. Yeah.
In early 2000, he took the piss out of racism. Dave Chappelle took the piss out of racism, and that's why the dude had to move to Africa. You know what I mean? You see that first episode, Frontline. You
remember had the what was it, the race draft?
Yeah.
Race draft?
It's like the black delegation.
Right. Yeah, the black delegation chose Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods. That's what it was.
Oh,
Buck Nasty.
For chisel.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah. So, I'm gonna go home and put some water in Buck Nasty's mama's dish.
hate. Hey, so I want to do something real quick. We got about a minute and a half before we hang it up for the radio, but I want you to stay on for a little bit longer after that. Okay. So give me an outro. Give me about a minute and a half. Put something on the books for anybody that might be listening about what you want to put out in the world.
What I would like everybody to do is basically realize their own imperfection. To to look in the mirror and to understand that imperfection is okay, and it's okay to be wrong. I think that if everybody understood the connection between them and the person next to them, and how essential in a societal contract it is for that person to be able to think that the way that they want to, in order to honor that societal contract that you enter into when you live in a city, or you live in a town or a village or what have you. You have to respect everyone's right to think and to act and to be and to pray and to eat the way that they want to. Okay, everybody, for everybody that preaches the culture of tolerance yet practices intolerance towards those that do not think as you do, you're making mistakes, and understand that you're making those mistakes, and please change course, because this is headed towards a brick wall if you don't. So that's what I would say, brother. I want nothing but to bring everybody to the table so everybody can eat. Everybody, that's it, man. Yeah, exactly,
So,
man. It's all
in,
love.
indeed, it is all love. So that right there, I'm gonna put it on the books for another episode of the Chris Miller Show. Again, this I'm gonna do it like they do, like any good podcast. Like, hey, if y'all are listening online, if y'all watching online, we're gonna keep it rolling. But everybody listening on the radio, God bless y'all. Thank y'all so much for joining us. Keep the faith, keep the loyalty coming. Keep supporting us, and keep tuning in, because we're gonna have a lot of things going on. I'm gonna be next Thursday through Saturday. I'm going to be live in the downtown Dallas Omni convention from Mobilize 2020, hosted by the Young Americans for Liberty, and we're going to have some amazing guests. Y'all tune in. Do not want to miss this all week next week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to be getting it in. So y'all keep it locked. God bless y'all. Amen.
Yeah.
So, all right. So they're going to, was that 53:20. They're going to cut that. But hey, everybody online, we're going to hang out. I have a few more things I want to holler at the chief about, because this is about the Pow Wow. So, can we come together to get what we need to get out of our political system without sacrificing everything that we stand for? Is there,
It's possible, bro. It's possible, but I think it's going to require full disclosure. We all need to know the absolute truth. We all need to understand exactly what's going on around us. There's too much, it all comes down to people looking down on each other, because everybody is so dead set in their ways. That's what it comes down to. If we had the liberals, or the people that consider themselves leftists or anything like that, actually get the full disclosure along with the other side, I think that, it was taken as absolute truth. Of course, you're going to have those people that just refuse to acknowledge it. It's like, oh, well, that's fake news, or, oh, what's your source? If we have President Trump come out and say, this is the truth, this is what's happening, this is what the previous administrations put in line, this was their end goal, and this is what I've done to obstruct, and this is what I can do in the future. Where do you stand? I think, again, we'd see that proverbial line drawn, and I think we might see some people jump ship to the other side, because I think the truth is going to shock everybody. And like I said, I mean, I am one of those people that wishes the Q stuff was true. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful, like, if the world, if everything was right in the world, I could see the Q thing being true. Like, I take it with a grain of salt, man. Everything, let's be honest, everything,
I say it's a possibility.
Yeah, I would say everything that's being claimed on there probably is true, but everything that's being done might be kind of like a pipe dream. Like, man, this is all, if everything was perfect and right in the world, this is what would be happening. And
to be clear,
Yeah.
To be clear, there are bad things that are in the Q, the Q posts. I mean, when we're talking about pedophiles and
Right.
sex trafficking, human trafficking, sacrifices, people taking
Yeah.
adrenochrome,
And
you
this is
know,
all happening. It's all we know it's happening.
yeah,
You know?
it's extreme though, and it's
Right.
hard to accept. It's
Yeah.
hard to accept that these things could possibly be true. That we have people that are actually like that movie Doctor
Harvesting.
Sleep, that are
Exactly.
actually like that movie Doctor Sleep.
Yeah. But
It's
you know
hard.
what?
It's hard to swallow.
But you know what? We in this old adage, the truth is stranger than fiction is that's one thing that we can that I can live by. I can tell you right now that in my life I've found that the truth literally is stranger than fiction, man. And the sooner we get to realizing that the the world is painted in such a way that we would believe that everything is what's normal. For so I'll say this, for so long, what we thought was normal was very bland and had no mystique. But what was lying just beneath the surface was this just seedy, and they call it the seedy underbelly for a reason. It's always right there, but it's never been something that boiled over. And it was, there's more of us here. There's more information flowing. There's more opportunity for these people to get caught, and then there's more opportunity for the people that are being hurt to actually have a voice. So yeah, we come into the age of media and the age of technology. Somebody's bound to get caught. You can't be out in the streets like you used to. Somebody's going to see your face. Some camera's going to pick it up and be like, "Hey, look, I know that dude." Facial recognition is not just something that happens through Big Brother. Everybody got that on their phone now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I like Patty. They got Patty Tatty here. He's like, it's a big pill to swallow for most, but we have to help people accept the truth. That's true, man. What we're seeing right now is everybody in America is getting a red pill dose, whether they like it or not. And you're seeing people that they're coming together. They're coming across in waves. They're coming across like, oh man, could this be true? Like when the stuff came out about Chrissy Teigen, I felt like that was a big move. That was a big move because when Chrissy Teigen came through, she deleted all those tweets. Man, she couldn't delete them fast enough because people caught it and they were like, oh man, hold on. Wait a minute. And I said this. I said, man, you know what? Y'all think that the devils are going to come looking like devils? Yeah. They're going to be the most beautiful and the ones you never suspect. They said that they would disguise themselves as beings of light. They're stars. We call them stars. Superstars, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. And, it's too strange to be coincidence at this point, right, man. You mentioned Chrissy Teigen. We're talking about a person that's joked about eating human meat, and then also joked about babies that look like porn stars.
Right.
She's joked about pulling. What did she say? I'm going to pull a.
Is it train or?
No. She said, I'm about to Anthony Weiner this kid. That's what she said.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what she said. So, and these things, I mean, they're there to look at. She said this stuff. And a lot of the time, somebody who's doing something wrong likes to just say it out loud because nobody thinks that they're serious.
So
it's bragging. It's
sociopath, right? Is that sociopath?
But also real quick, man, again, going off coincidence and how it just can't be. I mean, why do we see Greece decriminalize pedophilia, and then with the rumors being what they are about Tom Hanks, why does he move there? Why does he move there? Why? Like, even just for perception, why do that, Tom Hanks, you weirdo?
Right? You're right. And
like, why? Why would you do that?
You got to know the optics and the timing of all this. Come on. And it's like, but they don't care. They don't care. They want to be free to do what they used to do. And you know what? It does not surprise me that Greece is making this move, because think about this.
They've always been pedophiles.
Yeah, boy, that is where boy loving came about. In Greece, it was uncommon to not have a little boy page and be a senator or a
Aristotle, Socrates.
They all had a little boy. And these people, man. And you know what pisses me off though? I love Greece. I love Santorini. That's where my wife and I were supposed to go on our anniversary, my 10-year anniversary. Now I'm pissed because like I'm gonna be on a hunt if I go out there. Because I mean, the worst part about this, it's not just that they're decriminalizing. That's the horrible part. I guess they go kind of hand in hand. They're actually making it to where they can get states benefits.
Yeah, for disability.
Yes.
That's what?
What? So now Tom Hanks can go and
Oh.
collect a check for being. Oh my gosh, dude!
Yeah, and
I'll
probably
never,
get housing and medical benefits
I'll
and
never watch Castaway the same again. Used to be one of my favorite movies,
we're
but
talking about Forrest
dang
Gump,
it,
man.
like come
Yeah.
on, Jenny.
Jenny, I wish you were younger.
Now we
I
know where he.
remember you when you were younger, Jenny.
Now we know why he was running so fast.
Yeah. I want to be like peas and carrots when you were
Right?
younger.
Yeah, peas and carrots. Now, yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. And you know what? I've been so I'm reading this. He's saying that there's no extradition if it's legal there. So if it's legal there, I wonder if that means that they can't take them from there and bring them back here if they're facing charges. Oh, even past that, I'm doing a lot of this going on. But check this out. So you hear Ellen's about to get canceled right now, right?
No. I try not to
Yes.
even remotely think about Ellen ever in my life. It's not something
Bro,
I ever want to do again.
So my wife watches Ellen, but I'm just thinking that I was just thinking about this. So, but she's getting canceled. She's getting canceled because people said that she was mean, but not that she was mean, but that the people that work for her said that she was mean and said the people that work for her were telling people not to talk to her. So apparently, and this is crazy because this is how the left eats themselves. Apparently, she was never actually mean to anybody. They said she had a sensitive nose or something. So if you had something to eat, you need to make. She had a bowl of gum. Like I'm cool with that. Like if your breath stink, chew some gum. But apparently, they're saying that she
was a Nazi about it.
Yeah, she was like, but that, and they said that they were told not to speak to her. Not that she told them, don't ever speak to me, but that somebody told them not to speak to her.
Huh.
So
she was probably like Big Earn McCracken in Kingpin and told the guy to go eat that outside. She's like, hey, just go ahead and eat that outside, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see it, bro. These people are, they're very they think that there is this level and this level and they're on this level. So, it's I'm not surprised is what I'm saying, man.
Right.
Yeah, but I know that there's also rumors about her, that Q has said, and not to completely go back to Q all the time, but I mean, these are just things that are being said in the world. These things have to be acknowledged. And why can't they acknowledge these things? Why can't they be like, hey, this is being said about me. This is why, but this part isn't true. And why don't we just acknowledge that? I mean, it's a big thing, and to continue on like that elephant isn't in the room is it's weird,
right? And that's the whole,
because it wouldn't stop. That's the thing. Mainstream media wouldn't stop. Nope. They would not stop if that was said about somebody from the other side.
No, in fact, they would make their entire news cycle about just that, and whether it be true or not, they would make it in the court of what they call this, in the court of common appeal or whatever they call that. In the court of public opinion, it would be true. Just like Trump being a racist is true in the court of public opinion, because and
it's said like it's fact.
Yeah, and check this out. So that guy that did the Boston bombing, he just got it to where they overturned his death penalty because all of the media coverage made it to where he could not get a fair trial in Boston. Now, think about that in these terms. How can Trump get a fair opinion, a fair not to say trial, but a fair trial? How could Trump get a fair trial for that impeachment, which he was still acquitted for, in America, where the media literally has poisoned the minds of every single person in America across the board?
It's slim to none, bro. I mean, it's going to be a cold day in hell before somebody doesn't immediately discredit Donald Trump because they heard that he was racist on mainstream media. That's just the way it is, man. There's just that group of people, and there's another group. Like I said, the only thing that Donald Trump can do to change public opinion about himself is give full disclosure. That's got to be the Hail Mary that does it, man. Like I said, you'll see some people stay on that side, but the amazing thing is, and there was a poll that showed who supported BLM who didn't support BLM and who was on the fence, and I couldn't give you the exact numbers, but what we've seen in recent in this past few weeks is the people that cared none. They didn't care one way or the other. They've not only decided to care now, but to not support BLM, and that's because of the radical ideologies that they've disclosed, like being, trained communists or Marxists,
Yeah.
and then also saying that they are against the nuclear family, that they don't want fathers in the home, that they do support men turning into transsexuals. And this is the pedestal. I mean, this is the platform that they've taken, and now you have Americans jump ship from not caring to care, not only caring but to not supporting Black Lives Matter. So you're starting to also see a reduction in the people that do support, so because of the hardline stance that the Democratic Party has taken with BLM, you're going to see that, also, in the numbers that you're going to see with for Biden and then for Donald Trump in regards to elections, but,
and I think that's funny because if we look at history, we will always see the Marxist hand in the Black movement. I've been doing a lot of research on this, and I found that even way back in the day, even like right around the turn of the century, and especially in 1920s, the Marxist groups and the Soviets were trying to use, they were trying to pit Black people against, take the newfound freedom for Black people was an obvious tool to try to use against America. But then what they tried to do was the Marxists took Black people in the sense that they wanted to twist their minds up and make them think that they could never have freedom in America, no matter what they did. And they've been doing it ever since. Look at us now. Like, we're in every single movement that we've ever had. You'll see on the back burner, there's been a Marxist twins to it. They were even better. They were the ones that not coined the term, not Jim Crow, but not coined. They did not coin the term, but they were the ones that began using the phrase Uncle Tom as a Black moniker to discredit Black conservatives. They used Uncle Tom and they twisted the whole meaning of Uncle Tom up. Uncle Tom was a hero, but they made it seem like he was a weak, subservient, bootlicking, like they made him seem like he was a traitor, a piece of scum. And they have done, and this is where this came from. Black people, a lot of Black people don't even know this. It was Soviet Marxists that actually implanted this concept in our minds, and they used this as propaganda to make every Black person that actually wanted to stand up for Black freedom and wanted to actually stand out and push the things that would make us stronger as a people. They took all of those people and they villainized them by calling them Uncle Tom, and they twisted up the story of Uncle Tom. They twisted up the meaning, and then they put us in a situation where now it is considered an insult to be called that, when in reality it's a compliment.
Yeah, well, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, brother. I mean, all they do is change the rules. You know what I'm saying? They change the definition to words.
Yes.
And that's why there's such reaction. That's why there's such emotion, because we know the meanings to these words.
Right.
And it's maddening to hear somebody use that word in the exact opposite context.
Right. And with a straight face, mind you, with a straight face, making you, and they're sitting here talking to you like, hey, the sky's black. It's pitch black all day, every day. And you know what? I can't believe that anybody's ever thought it wasn't. Blue doesn't make any sense. That color doesn't exist.
What are you talking about? Green grass, you crazy person. What are you? Look at this guy. He thinks the grass is green.
Are you serious? And it's like, and it just, for example, it's like, Trump's a racist. Like, look at all the racist things he's done. And I'm like what? Like get a whole bunch of Black people out of jail, like put a whole bunch of money into the Black community, like what? Give millions of dollars to Black colleges, give school choice. Where show me exactly. Oh, well, look at what he said. Look at the Central Park 5. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, but let's actually look at the Central Park 5. Let's go back and look at that, because I have my thoughts on that too. And I get a lot of people that just they won't let anything be. They just have to keep bringing everything. I'm like, let me ask you this. what about since he's been president? Because if we want to go back and look at history, if we want to look at history, but that's the thing. When I want to look at history of the Democratic Party, they're like, man, that's who they used to be. Like, no, that's who they still are. They just got a bunch of black faces to cover up all that Jim Crow. That's all that is. But when they want to act like their past doesn't exist, but everything in Donald Trump's past, which they only bring up things that they only bring up certain occasions that. All right, so let's talk about the grabber by the you know what. So in that sense, the dude said something that I'm gonna be honest with you is very true. Celebrities can go out and grab girls by the pussy.
Well,
And
as someone that's gone out there in the music industry, man, during national tours, as security,
it's not even them grabbing them. It's you can have if you're a celebrity. If John, I'm gonna go take it back for the ladies that back. I'm gonna take it back to the 90s. If Johnny Gill was walking around with his hand out, every girl in the stand, or Keith Sweat, every girl in the stands would put it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Begging to put it. I went to Vegas the other day with my wife, and we were at the Boyz II Men concert, and they was throwing everybody but my wife was throwing it out there.
Yeah. And though we go to the end of the road,
yeah,
it's a natural.
Yeah. My wife's like, we need to calm down.
We're having fun,
right? But yeah, man, it's crazy because, and I see Linda here from the Trump wave, the red wave, man. She's saying they change the narrative, change the rules. That's the Democrats, and that's very true. That's exactly, literally what they've done, and we're letting them.
That's my strategy now, bro. I'm flipping the script. You know what I'm saying? I go out to their rallies and I extend my hand. You know what I'm saying? Right. There's not going to be this game anymore. And we're out there doing this. You know what I'm saying? When I go out there, I film. You know what I'm saying? So there's no way you can say that I did anything but what I did. I went out there. I reached out to BLM. I shook hands with the leader of BLM. They let me speak. And then I went to Insurgents USA. I talked to that man. Hey, let's meet at the same table. Let's sit down. Let's break bread. Let's talk about how we can actually fix things in the community. And you know what? She got attacked by her own people.
Yep.
For doing this.
They'll eat them alive, man. The cannibalism is great on that side, and it sucks because that's why nothing will ever get done. Because the second that if BLM would actually have if BLM as an organization was actually about this, if they were about that life, and they actually took the turn to go and march in numbers in Chicago, in Detroit, in New York, in LA, if they went and marched in numbers for all the Black death that's happening there. And I'm saying that phrase because I think that this is what this period in American history is going to be called, the Black Death. But if they would go out there and march for this Black Death that's happening out there, then I think that they would get. I mean, you would see that whole paradigm would go like this. You would see the people that were for the movement go this way, and the people that are for the organization go that way. And I feel like I know exactly what that would look like. It'd be Black people and white liberals and a couple of other knuckleheads that just wanted to be out there breaking shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the way it is, man. It's people manipulating, a feeling of victimhood. You know what I mean? They find that pressure point, they push it, and then all of a sudden, you have an army. And there's some people out there like Barack Obama that are very great speakers, orators, and can invoke that emotional response and get that person to feel like this person gets exactly what I've been feeling for so long, and I will follow this person like the Pied Piper off the damn cliff.
Indeed. I mean, that's where we need that. We need that type of we need some type of like congruity in our because we have a lot of factions even within our own ranks.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there to out patriot or out liberal each other, and we need to realize that it's not even about that. That if we do want an actual solution, there will be concession or there will be just chaos.
Right. And I want to switch gears for a second. Let me ask you this: what does the future look like in the next 3 months? Because we're going to go through I mean, was it um was it and there's something always happens, something weird always happens.
October surprise.
Yeah, I was gonna say the October surprise, but even before that, there's Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur.
Mhm.
Um, something weird always happens on Yom Kippur, man, and that's like, and that has something to do with the Feast of Trumpets and
Yeah,
the Day of Atonement and all that.
yeah. It's
And
they're all sacred dates. It's
yeah,
all sacred math.
right,
It's all relative to the cycles of the moon, of the planet, the solstices, the
yeah, the
equinoxes,
one,
all of that. We don't think that they do these things, but these things are actually.
yeah,
It's imperative that these things are planned and enacted in these particular dates because we have a lot of people that are still very much believers and followers in these kinds of
right.
esoteric,
Wizards,
meanings. Yeah.
wizards and witches and what
It's
called
crazy,
warlocks.
but that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Hey, they're and it's funny because they're out there telling us that magic doesn't exist, but they're casting spells behind our back. And I think that's a funny thing that I mean, we want to address it on this show. We'll leave that for something off off the radar. But to be honest, man, that's what's going on. But I look at it like this. I mean, we know that there's always going to be October surprise coming through.
Mhm.
I wonder what it could possibly be. Is it going to be an Epstein thing? Is it going to be I mean, because there's got to be something that's going to happen. And I've said this before. I said this when I said that there's we need to we can move the election up right now because all the lines are drawn in the sand. So outside of there being something something spectacular or something devastating happening in October, then November's pretty much set in stone. And what I'm seeing now, and I'm looking at the U.S. Postal Service, and I find it funny that Barack Obama mentioned that today or
Mhm.
yesterday, and he's talking about how Trump's trying to defund it or whatever. It's a defunct organization, man. They suck at getting the mail out anyway.
There's a secondary meaning there, though, brother.
Right? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
there's
already know.
another level of importance that goes with the Postal Service,
Right,
and Donald Trump is holding that card close to his chest.
right,
Everybody needs to watch out with that situation.
right. And I'm gonna say this: anybody working in Postal Service, I mean no disrespect. I know that it's not easy on y'all. I know that Jeff Bezos is not making that easy on anybody. The funds, I mean, it's upside down right now. So please, anybody that works for USP, the United States Postal Service, do not get pissed at me. Do not come go postal. I promise you, I love y'all.
That's another one of those words, brother,
Right? Yeah.
that's kind of been hijacked. But
Right.
the thing is that it's very easy to misconstrue an action of, defunding for something that it's not. Case in point, we've seen, the removal of a lot of welfare checks and incentives and stuff like that. These things have been misinterpreted as racist because they affect a particular demographic specifically. That doesn't apply to what I'm talking about with the Postal Service. It's just a similar situation that can be misconstrued as such. What that does is actually incentivize the person to do the opposite and not want to be on those particular, allowments or, whatever. So they go out and they make better for themselves and they actually get into a position to where they don't need that anymore. With the postal unions and stuff like that. These people want them to get paid more. They want them to work less. They want them to get more benefits. And therein lies the trust in that aspect of the Postal Service, So it's nothing against the postal worker. We want the most for the postal worker because, hey, we're right there with you. It's just the utilization of this organization by government specifically, and what the the repercussions could be if
Right.
it continues to go in the direction that it is.
Indeed. Well, man, I gotta say, I'm very honored to have had you on the show. We gotta do a lot
Hey,
more.
dude.
Thank you for
Yeah.
being on for my comeback show, man, because it's
Yeah.
been tough, and y'all have really been there for your boy, man. I really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
it was a good one, brother. It was a good
Indeed.
one, man. I'm glad to be here. I greatly appreciate you asking me on, brother. And I know, hey, we're on the same team.
Absolutely.
Agenda 1776. I'm always going to be there with you guys. Titans of Liberty, you're always there with us.
Man.
We got a lot more things going on. I think I want to have you on Scuttlebutt with me and Michael Graves and Enrique Tario,
That's what's up.
who I know and love very much. The both of them.
Okay.
And we'll have you on. We'll talk some punk rock politics.
Hey,
And,
I'm down, bro.
Yeah, we'll do that, brother. But again, thank you for having me on, bro.
Indeed. God bless you, man. To all the people that tuned in today, especially those on the Red Wave, thank y'all very much. Y'all keep coming. Like, share, subscribe. Tell them where they can find you at, bro.
Yeah, at Trail of Fears 20 on Twitter, Chief B 1776 on Parlor, Johnny Cisgender on Facebook. Hit me up. I'm very open to any suggestions. If you guys have any tips, send them my way. We'll bring you on. I don't care. I talk to everybody. Everybody, it's all love. So please hit me up.
Indeed. Yeah, y'all know y'all can check me out on the Chris Miller Show. And don't forget to check out wisewolfgoldandsilver.com if y'all want to get invest in some real assets, some precious metals. Just get on there and then check out the Arterburn radio transmission with my buddy Tony Arterburn. He'll get y'all squared away. God bless y'all, and y'all stay safe. Peace.